Hello, my gifted souls. This is Monica Bay here, also known as the Healer in Heels. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also click that notification bell and follow me on all social media at The Real Monica Bay. Don't forget that, boo. Okay, anyway, so today I want to talk to you guys about getting yourself back into balance when you find yourself out of balance, because a lot of times we find ourselves out of balance. And that's actually a very, very common thing, because we constantly actually go from being in balance back to out of balance and then having to find ourselves back into balance. So today I just want to talk to you guys about how to do that and what that really means. So in order to get yourself back into balance, you first need to realize, the first step to solving a problem is realizing there is a problem. So you need to really obviously acknowledge that you are out of balance. And sometimes when you're out of balance, it's just like you're feeling uneasy, you may feel a little lost, you may feel like something's wrong, you don't know what, and you just feel like just off kilter. And so when that happens, what you need to do is tune in, okay, and discover what is actually going on inside of you. Because when you're off balance, that's coming from a deeper place. It means your energy is off in some way, shape, or form. And there could be a myriad of reasons why your energy is off. But you need to tune in to yourself to really discover that. That requires you to be in silence. It requires you to be focused, not be on your cell phone or social media. Okay, so after you watch this video, then you can go check. But you need to, really have everything kind of turned off and tuned off so that you can then tune in and focus on yourself and focus on really what's going on. What are your thoughts? What are your emotions? What are your feelings? What are the energies that are lying inside of you? And we all have the ability to sense our own energy. So it's really just closing your eyes, tuning in, focusing, and determining what is actually wrong. Where am I feeling off? Am I feeling off because I'm not sure what my next step should be in life? Am I feeling off because I have too much chaos around me? Because a lot of times we just busy ourselves with so many things. You're going from one thing to another, from one thing to another, and you haven't had any time to actually relax and focus in on yourself and be with yourself. So it's important that you tune in, discover what's wrong, discover where that feeling is. And it's okay if you can't find it. If you try and then you're like, I still don't know where that is, that's okay. But it is better if you know what it is, because then you know what you're releasing. So the next step after you discover, what's wrong, where that feeling of uneasiness is coming from, then it's time to actually release that. So you have to release that. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to start to bring yourself back into balance. So in order to actually release those energies, again, a lot of that feelings of uneasiness or just feeling off is usually either energies that are in your aura, energies that are in your chakras, emotions, thoughts, just chaotic energies in general. So in order to release that, there are just a couple of tips to give you. There are tons and tons of ways to release negative energy, but I'm just going to give you a few tips today. So one is actually writing things down. A lot of times when you are feeling negative emotions, negative thoughts, they could be anger, it could be resentment, jealousy, it could be worry, which is very, very prevalent. Most people are worried about something. And you have all these things, whatever those things are. A lot of times if you just, most people just hold it in, and you're keeping it within you. And when you hold something in, you're literally holding it in. You're holding the energy in your body. You're holding the energy in your spirit. And that is when you start to feel off. Because balance is equilibrium. Balance is homeostasis. Balance is universal oneness. Balance is enlightenment. So when you want to find yourself back into balance, you need to release the things that are getting you out of balance. So writing things down is actually an energetic way, because when you write down something, thought is a form of energy and frequency. When you're writing something down, that turns the frequency into an actual physical form. And it is a process of release. And so when you write something down, you're able to release that energy, because you're able to express yourself instead of holding it in. And another way of doing it, of releasing that negative energy, is doing what's called a burn ceremony. So a burn ceremony is simply writing something down on paper. You can get creative with the type of paper that you write it on and all of that. But generally writing down something on, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, whatever you want to release, on a piece of paper. And even it doesn't even have to be also, it doesn't have to be just your thoughts or emotions. It could be something in your life that you need to detach from and get rid of. So you can write those things down on a piece of paper. You would, put it in between your hands and kind of charge it with your energy that you are releasing this, with the intention that you are releasing this, you are letting this go, you are walking forward into your future and not carrying this with you any longer. And remember, practice fire safety, and you're going to basically put that into something to burn it outside in an open exposed area, and you're going to burn that and then just walk away. And then that actually does do a process of releasing it. And there's a lot of other things that you can do while it's burning as well, is putting some herbs into the fire that will then bring, so as you're releasing things, you can start to bring in, okay, you want to release this, and then you want to bring in the opposite of it. So if you're releasing anger, you want to bring in happiness, contentment, gratitude, things like that. And there are certain herbs, that you can use that help with that, and that can actually, generate that type of energy as the smoke from the fire is going up into the atmosphere and into the universe. So that's another thing that you can do. And also there is something called cord cutting. So I'm going to do a completely different video on cord cutting, because that's its own kind of thing. But generally speaking, really quick, cord cutting is basically detaching your attachments. You have energetic attachments to people, to things, to situations, and you can basically cut those cords and specifically detach from those things. And a lot of times, sometimes that's what has you out of balance. If you find that you can't let go of something, you can't let go of a situation that happened, you can't let go of a particular person that no longer serves you, that is now out of your life, you need to be able to detach from that. So cord cutting is a great way of releasing that negative energy as well, because once that cord is cut, that detachment is made, then your body is allowed to find itself back. Okay, and the next step is, once you have released all of that, negative energy, now in order to bring yourself back into balance, the releasing is actually, getting to the root of the problem of, like, what is it that has you, imbalance right now, or out of balance. So now it's time to find yourself in balance. And the next step after you release that energy is to do some grounding exercises. You need to find yourself back into balance, and grounding is a great way of doing that. So in order to ground yourself, you need to be in silence of some sort, and really tuned into yourself. So being in silence, meditating, using some grounding exercises, like there's a very popular one of, standing with your feet firm on the ground and imagining roots coming from your feet all the way into the center of the earth, and then drawing up that energy into your body, and that actually helps to balance your body. So that's just one exercise. There's a lot of different grounding exercises. We'll do another video on that also. But generally you want to ground after you have released that negative energy, and that will definitely allow you to start to get back into balance. And another important thing after you have grounded is really also connect to your soul. Connecting to your soul is another way of bringing yourself back into balance, because your soul is balanced. Your soul is omnipresent. It is connected to the universe at all times, and it is balanced. So when you bring your connection back to your soul, and you don't have to think about how to do it, just do it. You can tune inward and focus on your soul, and focus on merging back with your soul and reconnecting, because a lot of times we are so disconnected from our souls, and this is what causes confusion. This is what causes us to be out of balance a lot of times, and because your soul knows why it's here, and it knows exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and a lot of times we're not receiving that guidance, and we're not just in tune with that energy. So we need to, get in tune and intentionally merge, back and just connect with our soul. So that's another way of finding yourself back into balance. And then once you've done all that, you want to then set your energy for, success, and just for positivity and balance, basically. So now we've released energy, we've brought you back into balance. Now it's time to create some real positive energy that'll help move you forward into life. One way of doing that is focusing on gratitude, focusing on what you have, focusing on what you're grateful for, whether that be attributes that you have, whether that be things in your life, whether that be circumstances, or whether that be things that you're looking forward to. You want to really focus your energy on that for a moment. And also, doing some affirmations is also really great, because what affirmations do is they put that energy out into your aura. And as that energy sits in your aura, it starts to then attract those things to you, but it actually changes your vibration as well and creates more of a positivity. And just make sure your affirmations are said in a very positive way, as if you already have these things, not like you're waiting for them. And definitely don't use an affirmation about something that you don't have. You want, or saying anything like I don't want this, or I am not going to do this. Your affirmation should be set in a very positive way. I am, I do, I have, things like that. So saying those things and doing those affirmations help to put that positive energy into your aura and help boost you. And then you will find yourself not only back into balance, but much better than you were before. Oftentimes, when we find ourselves out of balance, what's actually happening is we are starting to feel powerless. So it's also really important, super important, that you remind yourself of your power. And doing these things, when you're finding yourself out of balance and, doing all of these things that I just laid before you, when you do that, you bring your power back, you take your power back, and you remind yourself that you have the power and control over how you feel and over your energy. So just to recap, again, steps to bring yourself back into balance: discover what the issues are that have you out of balance, release those issues, do some grounding exercises, and set your energy for positivity. So that is all I have for you today. Don't forget to subscribe below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click that notification bell. Also, follow me on all social media at The Real Monica Bay. I'm Monica Bay, the Healer in Heels, signing off. And just want to say, heal your soul, find your truth, and live your purpose.